On this brewcast, we're going to visit a local brewery that we like to go to quite often.
One of our favorites. We've been there a bunch of times. We'll go behind the scenes with the owner and show you what it's all about.
Join us on this beer venture.
Well, welcome to this Beer Guys TV brewcast. As we said, we're going to go behind the scenes and check some things out from a small brewery. And there's small town breweries all over the U.S. And it's kind of fun to see. Each of them seem a little bit different. And this is kind of one of, as you mentioned, one of our favorites. And I noticed you got a brew here too.
I do. I picked this up the last time I was up at Hayes Public House. It's a rye IPL. So
IPL?
Yeah, it's an IP lager, not an IPA.
Oh,
yeah.
That's unusual.
I like rye beers anyway.
Yep.
And so this is kind of interesting because it's a lager instead of an ale. You see a lot of rye IPAs, but
sure.
This, they brewed a rye IPL. It's 5.8 ABV. I don't see anything on IBUs on this one. I think it's fairly low. Okay. But I'll pour this while you talk about
you crack her open. We'll talk a little bit. Pugs Hayes is the owner of Hayes Public House in Buffalo, Minnesota. And if you've been watching us for any length of time, you know we've made several appearances there. He's always invited us up for some of their big events. And, of course, St. Paddy's Day is always a big one up there, and their anniversary and other events. And it's always a good time. Pugs is an interesting character. He's a fun guy and is with a real true passion for brewing beer. And they started in November of 2013 in a little strip mall there by the lake in Buffalo, Minnesota. If you ever get up that way, it's worth a pop in. Nice little cozy place. It's got some atmosphere to it, and it's got some character.
Yeah, and we did talk with Pugs. So here's a clip. Take a look and a listen.
Well, we're here once again at Hayes Public House in Buffalo, Minnesota. We've got the man himself here. We got Mr. Pugs Hayes on hand here in the bar area, Shane Zeppelin, and we're enjoying a very tasty beverage, as always here at Hayes. It's always a fun place to stop in. And Pugsy, we haven't got a chance to really catch up with you lately and see what's new and what's happening, what's evolution of life at Hayes Public House.
There's a lot that's new here.
First of all, the red door. You got a new red door. I noticed that right away.
Yeah, that was part of our 10-year kind of remodel.
Okay.
We kind of stripped things back a little bit and refined things a little bit. Just kind of a fresh start, for the next 10 years or the next, the next phase, I guess. So, yeah, there's a lot going on. New beers, new uniforms.
Yeah, I noticed they look pretty snazzy behind the bar. They're black vests, white shirts, and
yeah,
it looks very professional. It looks nice.
Yeah,
and you have a lot of pull tabs, I noticed.
Yeah, I mentioned that to Shane. I said, does he add more pull handles back there? Is that?
Well, it has yet to be determined, but I would go on a limb and say that we have the most out of any brewery in Minnesota.
I'm going to guess so.
We've been to a lot of breweries, and I don't think I've ever seen that many.
No.
Yeah, I love just a traditional hand-pulled pint beer.
Something you see over in Ireland or Europe, really.
I love low-carbonated ale, cask ale, or real ale.
Yep.
And so it was always a dream and a vision to expand, the hand-pull, the beer engine line. And one of my workers' friends, him and I have an ongoing joke that one day the bar is just going to be all hand pulls, and we're not going to have any draft lines. All we're going to have is hand pulls.
Wow, so that would be fun. Yeah,
you never know.
You never know. Hey,
you can dream.
That's right. Dream. And you've rearranged a little bit. It seems roomier.
Yes. Yeah. It's amazing what just rearranging some furniture and some barrels or whatever can do to open up a space. It's crazy.
The other thing, it just seems it freshens it up when people walk in. Oh, hey, something's going on. And that's always good.
Yeah,
but it still has the traditional Irish pub feel.
It certainly does.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. And the new concept was really an idea of we can be an Irish pub. We still are, an Irish theme pub, but we could also just be a pub, and we can kind of with the new. The new look and the new refined feel, I guess. We stripped it down, like I said. We can kind of float in and out of different things. We could be an old-time saloon if we wanted to.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
We could be a gentleman's, like sportsman's club, like English sports.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, first and foremost, yes, we are a pub. We're an Irish pub. we're not going to stray from that, but it just allows us a little more flexibility.
Sure.
Flexibility, and you're going to add to the ambiance, and it can change it up.
Yeah.
In your smaller town in Minnesota, Buffalo, so they hey, you can do as you like.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the main goal too is just when that new customer comes in, or reoccurring customer, regular community member, whatever, walks through that door, that they're never confused.
Sure.
At what we are, and it's always, I get it.
Yep.
Yeah.
This is my kind of place, That's the worst fear, is always, having a customer come in and be a little confused about, I don't know what to do here. So, yeah,
Sure.
it's just
It feels warm.
Yeah.
Inviting. And that's what we really like. I know my wife and I come here often, and we just feel comfortable by being here.
Yeah.
We'll grab a beer.
Chris loves this place.
Yeah, Chris.
There she is now.
Yeah, actually.
How'd you get here?
Yeah.
So, Pugs, some of the mainstay brews that you always have on hand, what are those?
I would say, always our Irish Stout, the Hayes Irish Stout. And
Can't go wrong with that one.
that one's always on our hand pull, so we can't get that. We don't do that one in anything on the hand pull. We don't do in crawlers.
Sure.
So you can only get it exclusively here. And what else? We have our coffee porter. Has always been a staple. It always does really well. We always do at least an IPA.
Sure.
What else? Man, it just keeps growing. So it's like, but I would say our top four would be our Irish Stout, the coffee porter, our Irish Red, indeed our Irish Red. We're brewing that all the time. So for sure, those three.
You do some fun fruity ones seasonally.
I can think of one. Hillbilly Peach Picker.
Yeah.
When,
This guy.
when's that coming back? That was Jerry's favorite.
Yeah, the
Hillbilly.
Yeah.
I love that one. I like it too. It's a little sweet, but hey,
Yeah, and that was our, go at those milkshake IPAs that were like popular for a hot minute, and they left. Where did they go?
Breweries still do them, but you don't see them like you did for a while.
Yeah, right. That was our attempt, and some people liked it. It wasn't my thing. It sold, and it did fine. We do get requests for it, every now and then.
I always got to bring it up just to give them the business a little bit. Yeah.
So yeah, we like to keep to our tradition. The styles that I like to brew and to drink, but 10 years in, we've now been able to kind of explore different options and play around with things and whatever. And I think for the most part, people know we are who we are. We're not changing. This doesn't define just because we may do something different off the wall or whatever. That's craft brewing, and that's just part of the industry, doing fruit beers and kettle sours and things like that. Isn't necessarily our thing.
Yeah.
Could be. But, for the most part, we like our traditional ale.
Well, you do have something for everybody. So you do have some fruities, some sours, you have stouts, you have IPAs, you have regular pale ales, you have the Helles. So there is a wide variety. So when somebody comes in here, you also have root beer too. So
And now we have kombucha on tap as well.
Oh,
We're working with a kombucha guy up in Brainerd. He has a tap room up there.
Okay.
The stuff is really good. It's really good, and it's going really, really well. So
it is. Okay.
That was a request that has been floating around here for a while, and I finally was like, there's enough interest. Let's go for it. Why not?
Sure.
I think it all plays into the remodel and just the fresh new start. The next 10 years.
Well, and that's the thing. Things have changed a lot over the 10 years you've been here. You've gone through COVID, you've gone through political changes, you've gone through just different fads and things. And here you are, 10 years in, you're still at it, and you're still rolling with the punches, and people are coming in the door enjoying what you've got. Says it's a good, says a lot about what you and your staff do here.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's nice being the size that we are, because we are allowed that flexibility. And, in this industry, many of us know that things can change on a weekly basis.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
And so, having the low overhead that we do, it allows us that flexibility to change on a dime.
Right. Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
good. Yeah. Nice. Well,
Yeah, well, I'm glad you're doing what you're doing. We always enjoy stopping here. One of our favorite stops of in the state, and you always got some fun events going on. You got your Firkin deal. You got your anniversary thing. Of course, St. Patty's Day is a natural here.
Yeah, and I mean, always this time of year, February, we're gearing up. I mean, we've learned our lesson now over the years. We're already starting to get geared up for St. Patrick's Day, in September.
Oh, really?
really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Booking bands and things like that because they book up fast. So
No doubt. So that's,
yeah, we're geared up.
see, you've learned, Grasshopper. Yeah.
So come out, check some of the events here at Hayes. Check out the beer, obviously.
And if you're just traveling through Buffalo, Minnesota, and you're going, Buffalo, what have I heard of there? It's that brewery, Hayes Public House. Can't miss it right here on the highway. Stop in and say hey to Pugs and the staff here and enjoy a delicious brew and tell them the beer guys sent you.
Well, that was interesting, Greg.
Yeah, I like this beer.
This beer is very interesting.
Yeah. But yeah, it's fun. Always fun talking to Pugs. That was an event he had going on, so it was a little bit noisy in there, but people were having a good time as they always do up there, and we always enjoy a stop there. But what's interesting, his brewing style. Of course, he's got the Irish background, and as you can tell, handcrafted English and English type ales are his thing. And flavorful stouts and some with bitters, and here's something unique. He likes to try something different, which we encourage you to try as well. He does a lot with the community up there in Buffalo. He gets involved in a lot of things, which is kind of nice, and gives back. So again, all these small local breweries around the U.S., a lot of them do that, and try to give them your business if you can.
Something interesting about his brewery, he's got the most beer engines of any brewery in Minnesota.
Now, you may not know what a beer engine is because I know what it is once I know, but I didn't really know. So what's a beer engine, Shane?
So a beer engine, it's a tap that you pull, and it pulls the beer into the glass, right?
Yeah, like a pump.
Like a pump. It's kind of, it's a pump is what it is, right?
Sure.
But what it does is it's not like very carbonated. It's lightly carbonated. As it's being pulled through, it's very smooth, very fine, tiny bubbles, right? Kind of like champagne, I guess.
I was going to say, I almost wanted to sing there, but I'll spare you.
Yeah, spare us, please.
Hey! He's really expanded.
Several of them, and anything, you can get an IPA through the beer engine. You can get a stout, and he's got red ales, and he's got all kinds of different brews that he pulls through the beer engine.
And they are mellow. I mean, it's almost like you're on nitro. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it reminds me of a nitro beer because it really just smooths it out. And sometimes it's like he's got a basic Irish stout. It's only 4 point something. I love it.
I know
it's a great beer, and I don't have to worry about. Well, I had one. I can have a couple with no worries.
Exactly. And another neat thing is they'll smoke a beer for you on the spot.
Right. Yeah. And Carol and I both. Well, I did that. I think you've done that. I know Chris has.
Yep.
Yeah. Your wife.
You got a little box.
Yep.
That you put the beer in, and then you start up the smoker, and then you let it kind of.
I think you can get different flavored smoke.
Yes, you can do different flavored smoke, cherry wood and apple and whatever else it got, right? And it does bring a really unique perspective on any of the beers. It doesn't have to be a stout or whatever. It could be an IPA. He's got ciders. You could do a smoked cider. I mean,
it's not like a smoked beer where it's real strong. It's very subtle because it's just really the glass and the surface that gets a little bit of smokiness. So it's not going to go, I don't like it too smoky. It won't be overpowering.
No, it doesn't.
And they charge a little something for that. But it's a fun thing to do.
It is very fun.
And it's just adds to the fun there. And if Pugs is there, he's always a guy that you can strike up a conversation with. Very approachable. Talk beer, talk really just about anything.
Yeah.
I would say, like most places, avoid politics.
Right.
But he'll probably talk that to you.
Yeah,
as well. Yeah. So anyway, great guy. We've always enjoyed our visits.
He's also a musician.
That's right. You can see him.
Yep. Plays the bass.
Plays
bass.
Yep. And guitar. He'll have a lot of times Irish music there. In fact, there might be something in one of the videos here. Maybe you caught that he's in the background playing the big bass. And
they've always got food trucks up there too.
Yep.
There's always a food truck. Almost every weekend there's a food truck. It's got a nice patio on the roof.
Well, I was going to say, in
Enjoy.
2021, he decided to put, I need a little more room, especially in the summertime. And so I don't know how he worked the deal on the building there, but they put up a subfloor up there and put, there's a bathroom up there now too and everything. And yeah, and it's really nice because if you look just to the west, there's Buffalo Lake is huge. And on some nights up there, it's just like, man.
I know. It's just beautiful out there. You got a nice beer that you're sipping on. You got a nice sunset that you can watch.
It's like, oh, man, it's hard to leave.
These are the kinds of things that a local brewery provides that a lot of the big name breweries don't or can't provide. They do have their tap rooms and that kind of thing.
Sure.
But this is an atmosphere. This is something that you can it's a destination. You can enjoy going to a brewery, have really good beer, very good ambiance.
Yeah.
Very
you always
hosts.
run into somebody friendly and you can talk to and just
Us usually.
Yeah. A lot of times we go, hey, you guys again.
It's are you here again?
Well, it's in a handy spot. We travel through there a fair amount. It's like, well, just last week, Carol and I were like, we're going through Buffalo?
Hey,
the car just automatically turns that way. So, and always has been a supporter of Beer Guys TV and a supporter of craft beer, and not just in Buffalo, but he's worked with a lot of the other breweries around Minnesota, and is always lending a hand and offering to help others get started.
They'll do collaborations with other breweries as well.
They will,
yeah. And they have a really nice event that they do. Actually, it was a few weeks ago when this is being recorded. They did a cask event with different breweries in Minnesota.
Were there,
And they had just really small batches of very unique brews.
A lot of one-offs.
You can only get there.
You can only get there. And he does that twice a year. He does a summer one, too. This one, it was a little chilly out there.
Yeah, I saw you out there.
Yeah, people in snowmobile suits and stuff. But you know what? Everybody was having fun.
That's good.
Yeah. And there was some very unique brews there. And it's funny because a lot of these breweries, like that's the one time, here's our time to do something weird. And if it catches on, some of these breweries will take that and make that as either a seasonal or sometimes it could go into a mainstay. Right, if it really goes over well. So,
What do you think of this, Greg?
It's interesting. The rye really comes at the back. You really go, okay, I get the rye there.
Oh, yeah. It's nice. And rye has a very dark flavor to me.
Yeah.
Very robust.
Robust.
Kind of like a dark, like a dark toast. Like a burnt toast.
I can kind of get that. Yeah.
But then it's very hoppy. So I'm going to say that it's got pretty good IBUs. I'm going to say it's got in the 40s, 50s, somewhere in there.
I'd say 50s plus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then you get that lager kind of back end. The lager yeast gives it kind of that. I describe it as like a medicinal tail end.
A little bit, yeah.
So you get that at the end.
And it's lingering.
And it lingers, for sure. But I think it's very well done.
Yeah,
I like rye beers. So for me,
if you don't like rye and you don't like that kind of burnt toast thing that Shane's talking about, this may not be for you. But you know what? You can try a sample up there, and if you don't like it, there's plenty of other. He's got all them engines.
He's got a lot of engines.
Toot toot.
And they are rolling down the track.
Yes, they are. Good stuff. But it's a fun place. If you ever up around this way, stop in at Pugs at Hayes Public House and say hey to Pugs. Tell them the Beer Guys sent you. Yeah. And while you're at it, you can always click the like button down below too and subscribe.
Exactly.
Comment if you like. We sure appreciate that.
That helps us a lot.
It does. So, but support your local brewery. I guess that's what we're trying to say. And try some of the other ones. If you know there's some a little ways out, pop in and give them a try. So who knows what they got to offer. And don't be afraid to talk to people.
Yeah. And thanks for coming along with us on this beer venture.
That was fun. Yeah. We appreciate your attendance. Until next time,
beers to ya.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was good.
Toot toot. I like it. Beer engines.
Beer engines.
Beer engines, yeah.
If you like this episode, check out one of these.